I am Emily, the founder of Emily's Fine Food, for those who don't know me yet. And today I thought it might be fun to give you a little look into my kitchen, because I'm making our Christmas gifts for our loyal customers within Switzerland. And I am making fresh Stroopwafels. Those are those typical Dutch waffles with syrup in the middle. And they're actually relatively easy to make. The dough is pretty much flour, butter and sugar and spices. Of course there is cinnamon in there because it's nice and it gives this Christmassy smell for this time of year, although most people add it always. You can add other spices like little pepper, cloves, star anise, what you like. And the trick is, of course, to cut the waffles. That is kind of like the tricky part. I put them in the iron. It isn't like a really heavy iron in this case, because the dough is relatively firm. It's not a batter. So you need a little bit of power on top of the waffle to make it nice and thin. And it goes roughly 40 seconds to bake the waffle itself. So, and then I'm gonna cut them in halves, which is kind of like the tricky part of it, because they're already relatively thin, and still you have to cut them in two, because you have to put the syrup inside, which I actually have here in the pot. That's the alarm of the waffle iron, so it is done. So that's the fresh waffle. So you see it is really thin already, but nevertheless I'm gonna cut it in two. It's a little bit of a precision job, of course, because you have to make sure that it doesn't break, because of course then the syrup would run out. And so it is kind of like a little bit careful, but there we go. So that is what, and then I have like the two halves. And now I'm gonna add the syrup. So we put a good decent amount of syrup on it, because of course that is what makes them so delicious. We don't want to be too dry. It has to be nice and sticky. So like that. Yeah, that looks good. Look. That is nice waffle. And now we have to add the other half on top, roughly as I cut them. So like that. So turn it a little bit, get the syrup nice onto the edges, and that is done. A fresh Dutch stroopwafel. So if you're watching and you are one of our Swiss customers, you can expect a few of them in your mailbox in the next few days. And for everybody else, drop me a message if you're interested in the recipe and want to try it yourself for the holidays. For now, bye bye, see you next time.